I do know certain things. I do know certain things that I can confirm that the money paid to Avanesyan has all been paid. And it's not chump change. I don't want to go into it because it's none of my business, but I know from Frank Warren that every nickel in that contract is in the bank.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, what you just heard was the voice of legendary promoter, Hall of Fame promoter, top-ranked CEO, Bob Arum, who confirms that he knows that every penny that was reported to each fighter has been paid, okay? So we know that Blkprime has been confirmed as doing stand-up good business, okay? So with that said, the first event was put on, and we know that David Avanesyan, he got paid in full, and as you heard Bob Arum say, it was not chump change. And the reported $10 million that was paid to Terence "Bud" Crawford, undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terence "Bud" Crawford, with a record of now 39 wins, no loss, and no draws, 30 big wins by way of knockout, 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. He got paid in full. You had a lot of reports that Terence Crawford didn't get paid, okay? You had a lot of reports that David Avanesyan didn't get paid. You had a lot of reports that Terence Crawford's pay-per-view with Blkprime did 5,000 pay-per-views. You had a lot of reports that Terence Crawford gave away 10,000 tickets, which is completely untrue. Not to mention, to combat all that, now you hear no reports of the official numbers coming out that Terence Crawford did his normal routine, 120,000 pay-per-view buys. Let me say it to you again. Terence Crawford has done 120,000 pay-per-view buys. Terence Crawford was paid $10 million for this fight with David Avanesyan, and David Avanesyan, he was paid handsomely as well for this fight with Terence "Bud" Crawford and this opportunity. And there you have Bob Arum confirming that he knows very well that everything was paid in full. So you heard reports that people that just don't like Terence "Bud" Crawford or want to knock Blkprime because it's a new entity within the sport of boxing, okay? Or people just don't like Terence Crawford because why? Terence Crawford didn't give you the fight that you was all clamoring for. And everybody wants to place the blame on Terence "Bud" Crawford because he just wanted to get a fight in 2022. When the fight between him and undefeated, unified, 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer who's widely considered by many to be top 2, if not #1, definitely top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, and Earl "The Truth" Spence Jr., who has a record of 28 wins, no loss, and no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. So with that said, okay, Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, they didn't come to an agreement for a showdown in 2022. Terence Crawford last fought 13 months prior to his fight with David Avanesyan. That was November 20 of 2021 against Showtime Sean Porter, okay? So Terence Crawford, he did not have a fight in 13 months. He stated that he informed PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman, that he wanted to stay active. He wanted to get a fight in 2022. Okay, so that's exactly what he did. He got the fight in because he and Errol Spence reportedly wasn't going to fight until 2023. So he wanted to get a fight in 2022. He gave Blkprime the opportunity to showcase what they can do and announce themselves to the sport of boxing. And he fought a guy who is ranked high in the rankings, okay? David Avanesyan is ranked #4 in the WBC. He's ranked #6 in the WBO, and he's ranked #8 in the IBF, okay? And he's ranked #10 in the Ring magazine. Now, he's not ranked in the WBA, but we understand how that works, okay? So David Avanesyan is ranked high in all these sanction bodies, okay? And this is who Terence Crawford fought. But since Terence Crawford is 2 levels above all his opposition, if your name is not Errol Spence or undefeated welterweight superstar title contender Jaron Boots Ennis, who has a record of 29 wins, no losses, no draw, 27 wins by way of knockout. He is 25 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. If your name is not one of them, Jaron Boots Ennis or Errol Spence, who is on Terence Crawford's level that you could say is a 50-50 fight in his division, okay? He will have to leave his division, okay? So with that said, to fight David Avanesyan on short notice and give Blkprime an opportunity to showcase what they can do within the sport of boxing was absolutely huge. He helped with the introduction to the sport of boxing. He's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. So obviously, it's going to be very difficult to find opponents that's on the same exact level of Terence Crawford or to give him a 50-50 fight, right? It's just not possible. So he fought David Avanesyan, who was on a 6-fight knockout streak. And he knocked David Avanesyan out, brutally knocked him out in the 6th round of this fight, okay? David Avanesyan was coming forward. He was aggressive. Terence Crawford had been out the ring for 13 months. Terence Crawford, again, why would anybody want Terence Crawford? Now, as a fan, I just want to see Terence Crawford, Errol Spence like everybody else, right? But Terence Crawford is on a 13-month layoff, right? So Errol Spence, he fought April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T, Dallas Cowboys Stadium against former WBA Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas, to which Errol Spence got his 10th round stoppage victory, breaking Yordenis Ugas' nose, ribs, and orbital bone. Okay, so with that said, you're just not going to find anybody on the level of Terence Crawford. Okay, and so Errol Spence, he fought in April. Terence Crawford hadn't fought since November, so he got another fight in. Okay. And they weren't going to fight until 2023. So he got a fight in before 2023, right? As he wanted to. So with that said, all the naysayers that said Terence Crawford failed and Terence Crawford didn't get paid. And, Terence Crawford, Blkprime is not paying fighters. They wait until after the fight to pay fighters. Everybody got paid in full. Okay, Terence Bud Crawford got paid in full. David Avanesyan was paid in full. And the pay-per-views did not do 5,000 pay-per-view buys. It did not do 15,000 pay-per-view buys. It did 120,000 pay-per-view buys, okay? 120. That's on par with what Terence Crawford normal numbers are. If you pay attention now, it's slightly below. But if you ask Bob Arum, he told you, and the reported numbers Terence Crawford did with Sean Porter, Sean Porter is a superstar within the sport of boxing. 2-time welterweight world champion, retired future Hall of Famer, right? They did a combined 150 reported pay-per-views. Okay, then you look at Terence Crawford fight with Amir King Khan. It did 150,000 pay-per-views. Then you look at Terence Crawford fight with Victor Postile. As Bob Arum said, it did 50,000 pay-per-views. Okay, so he's on par. He did 120,000 pay-per-views. Okay, so for the naysayers that said Terence Crawford doesn't sell, well, the stadium was absolutely packed. Okay, there was an empty seat in the house. Okay, he absolutely packed his home stadium, as he always does. Terence Crawford always sells out in his hometown, Omaha, Nebraska. And in all actuality, another thing that's not being reported is the fact that Terence Crawford did more people in this stadium in this fight with David Avanesyan than he's done in the past in his hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. He's never had this many fans in the arena in his hometown. So he absolutely packed out the arena and did something he didn't do in the past when he was on a commercial platform like ESPN, okay, HBO, and with Top Rank. And he still did more fans, more attendance than he normally does, okay? So with that said, Terence Bud Crawford versus David Avanesyan, okay, he got paid $10 million, career high payday for his fight with David Avanesyan. He got more fans in the arena than he's done in the past, okay, and all fighters got paid in full. So Blkprime has done what they said they was going to do. I don't understand how come people have an issue with another avenue for fighters to fight on to give you more fights that you want to see. This only allows you to have more fights and to get more fights that the fans claim to want. The fans claim the fighters aren't fighting enough. Well, this gives you the opportunity for, you to see more fights. It gives you another avenue, right? So with that said, and he got paid in full, and it did 120,000. Now, Errol Spence is available. He's not fighting because of his car accident this particular day that Terence Crawford fought David Avanesyan, which was December 10th. He suffered another car accident, and he said that his date got pushed back to him fighting May or June, which Terence Crawford is now once again available, and he's telling Errol Spence to let's start to negotiate and let's make it happen, right? So Terence Crawford is available. Errol Spence is available. What Terence Crawford did now as, to get another fight in, to stay active and fight David Avanesyan, that's now over, right? So it should be now full steam ahead for Terence Crawford to fight Errol Spence Jr. It should be more than open for Terence Crawford and Errol Spence to negotiate right now and get a fight in. It's time to make the fight happen. Whether he's with Blkprime, even if he's with Blkprime, it's time to make the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight happen. And if he's not with Blkprime, it's time to make the Terence Crawford Errol Spence happen. But Blkprime has done what they said they was going to do. They introduced themselves to the sport of boxing. You see the production was great. The commentating was great. It looked no different than no other platform. And it's time, to have multiple avenues in the sport of boxing, okay, to give the fans and give the fighters more opportunities to have more fights and give them big money, because they're the ones that put their life on the line every time they step through those ropes, point blank and period. So here you have Bob Arum confirming that everything was on the up and everybody was paid, period. So let's see how everything unfolds and plays out moving forward. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Peace.